Hi, I'm Ashley Cooley, a birth, baby, and sleep specialist and mom of 3. There's so much information out there, right? This show is dedicated to helping you clear out the noise so you can figure out what will work best for your baby and your family. If you're looking to learn more about your baby, gain more confidence in your parenting, and get as much sleep as you can through it all, you've come to the right place. Bringing up baby is about to get a little easier. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bringing Up Baby podcast. We're going rogue here today. I totally, completely, 100% unscripted, which is not how I usually do things. You may have noticed we started out the podcast a couple of years ago heavily scripted. I felt the need to for some reason, but I'm trying to steer away from that a little bit now. But anyway, that's not what this episode is about. This episode is a buffer episode, to be quite honest with you, but still obviously a very important thing to discuss. But we're buffering because we just had 2 amazing episodes about sex and intimacy that are still being listened to, and you guys have been raving about them, at least from what I'm hearing. So if you have anything to say or want to share, I really love feedback. The good, the bad, the great, the not so great, whatever it is, I love feedback because doing podcasts isn't really my main gig. It's not what I'm trained to do. It's really just a way to bring you information. So if I can bring it to you better, or if I'm doing a good job and you want to keep seeing things happening, then let me know. You can send me an email. You can give me a shout on Instagram or Facebook. You can check out our website and birthbabysleep.ca, and you can leave comments right there. Leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Anyway, all that to say, I love feedback. Number 1. Number 2, again, buffer episode. 2 great, amazing episodes about sex and intimacy. We have got some deep, really important, amazing topics coming your way still. And I felt the need that let's just break the ice here a little bit. But what we're breaking the ice about is something that a lot of you have experienced. So I asked a question very recently on Instagram to my followers. It was in my stories. For those of you who've breastfed or have breastfed, but then switched to a bottle or formula, how would you describe this transition? Was it a game changer? Did you feel any shame or guilt because of it? Was it the best decision ever? So I got a ton of responses, and I just want to share some of them with you now because I think you're going to see a trend here. It was a relief in many ways. At first felt like a cheating, but made everyone happy and healthy. With my first baby, major guilt. She was on formula from day 1, but we still tried combo feeding for months because of it. There were a lot of tears and stress, but so glad supplementing eased anxiety. I felt so much guilt at first switching from nursing to pumping and then to formula. After a day or so, I was so glad to have made the switch. My mental health was much better. Are you seeing the trends here? Here's a few more. I felt relief knowing I wasn't the only one now who can feed my baby. Best decision, my mental health was taking a toll with breastfeeding. Necessary for my mental health for both parents. Better bonding for mom and babe. Yes to shame and guilt. But also the best decision. Once retransitioned, I felt like I could finally bond with baby. Guilty at first. I was told never to resort to formula, even though the baby was losing weight. Then seeing her gain so much weight from a combo feeding made the guilt go away because she was thriving. So guys, it just goes on like that. Basically, so many of you have experienced the guilt and shame that comes with switching to formula or bottle feeding, supplementing, just a complete switch, whatever it is. And there's a ton of guilt around it. And I just want to say, number 1, I get it. I get it because I'm a childbirth educator and I teach people prenatally, expectant parents, how to breastfeed and plan to breastfeed and talk about how amazing breast milk is, and which it is. It's cool. It's neat. It's a living fluid. Anyway, not what this is about, but I'm encouraging and cheerleading for people to breastfeed. But I understand because I went through it. I did breastfeed my 3 girls, but with my first, holy smokes, it was hard. It was so hard. So many tears. Oh my gosh. It it was incredibly challenging, and I don't know where I would be now with it. I mean, I'm no longer breastfeeding them. They are older, but I don't know where I would be without having an extreme amount of support. You need a ton of support in those moments for sure. And I also had professional help and someone to help me through that. I please remember this. Breastfeeding is not always easy at first. In fact, it rarely is. It takes a lot of work, and it really helps to have a ton of support. And a lot of you will have that. You will have the drive and the willingness and you know, you're wanting to breastfeed and you're doing all of the things, and you might even also have a ton of support to do that. But sometimes for various reasons, it doesn't always work out. And we do feel a lot of guilt and shame around that because we feel like we're letting our baby down. We feel like we're letting other people down. We might be letting ourselves down because we had these expectations that we were going to be the best mom, the best parent, and we were going to do the best, and this was the best. We were told it was the best, right? Listen, formula has all kinds of sweet nutrition in there, okay? It is designed to be what your baby needs to grow and thrive. And as many memes similar to this will say, trolling on Facebook, they all end up eating French fries off the floor at some point. But I know that's not where your mind is right now. And I've talked to, as a sleep consultant, I can't tell you how many families I've talked to, and of course, feeding comes with the sleep stuff. It comes with the baby stuff. So we end up talking about all of it. And the guilt and shame and how much I've seen so many mothers, so many parents work so hard to continue breastfeeding. But ultimately, when they do make that switch, wow, it becomes that saving grace that they needed. And hopefully that does allow some of that guilt to go away, because then you see your baby thriving, you see yourself thriving. So again, there could be so many reasons that we don't even all need to know or understand as to why somebody is switching or choosing to give their baby formula, to feed their baby from a bottle, to have other people involved in the feeding, even if it's pumped breast milk, you know. So I hope that this little chat, this little buffer episode, at least opens some minds, opens some hearts, and maybe lets your shoulders relax a little bit to know that it's okay if you want to give your baby a bottle. It's okay if you need to give your baby formula. Any amount of breast milk is an amazing gift to give, but formula has the power to save lives and help babies thrive. Ultimately, fed is best. I can say that as somebody who promotes breastfeeding and knows a ton about breast milk. It's a great gift if that's your choice, if that's what you're able to do. And any amount, honestly and truly, is wonderful. Sometimes even if it's just colostrum. I say just colostrum. Colostrum's amazing. Again, not what this episode is about. So we're going to wind it down here because I could go on and on and on. But I want you to know that you're not alone. My Instagram stories responses are blowing up because of it. Everybody is willing and wanting to talk about this because I think they know that if we talk about it, that's when the shame and guilt can take a back seat. So that's it for today's episode. Thank you all for listening. Again, would love some feedback anytime you want to share it. And maybe you want to also join the Bringing Up Baby community membership. Head to birthbabysleep.ca and find out more. We'll link to that in the show notes. See you next time. Looking for more? Check out birthbabysleep.ca, where you'll find prenatal classes, postpartum and new baby resources, and sleep support during the childhood years. You'll also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Birth Baby Sleep. It would be awesome if you followed us wherever you listen to podcasts, and if you can, leave a review or a rating, which goes a long way for helping others to find us. That's all for now. I'm Ashley Cooley, and we'll see you back here next time.